Welcome back to Joe Stunner Boxing. There was a little heavyweight tussle on the Magnificent Seven show over in Manchester between Solomon Dacres and Michael Webster. And it wasn't the most exciting of fights, but it was a great learning fight for both these guys because it was a close one. I had it 95-94 to Dacres. And I think, it was no, was it? I think it was a majority decision. One guy had it 95-95. He must have scored one of the rounds even because Dacres actually had a point taken off for use of the forearm in the final round, which could have cost him. As it happens, he edged it on a majority. But you know what? Michael Webster, I didn't know much about this guy before the fight. And I looked at his record and it struck me that he looked to me like a cruiserweight. He's 31 years old. Well, he's not a cruiserweight because, he's not a big heavyweight. But he looked like a proper heavyweight in there. He reminded me a bit of Scott Welch, the old, was he British and Commonwealth heavyweight champion from the early 90s, was it? I know he knocked out James Oyer-Bowler, didn't he? No, was it James? Yeah, he did knock out James Oyer-Bowler, yeah. And he had a world title fight, didn't he? Was that? It's a WBO world title fight. Anyway, I'm getting distracted. I'm thinking about Scott Welch. Michael Webster did have that sort of style. And if you look at his record going in, he'd fought absolutely nobody. And that was a real shame. All these guys had, multiple losses and very few wins. But he showed some ability in there. And at times he had Solomon Dacres really unnerved and looking all at sea. Now, I think with a bit more experience and a little bit more faith in how to fight 10 rounds at a high pace, Michael Webster could have scored an upset here, which really surprised me. Because Dacres, although his record isn't exactly full of killers, he has done the 10-round distance before. He did one against Ariel Bracamonte, and Chris Thompson, I think, went 10 rounds with him. And he's done a few 8-rounders as well earlier on in his career, 2021, 2022 roughly. So basically he's now moved to 8 wins with only 2 KOs, but that's okay. He's 30, young for a heavyweight, no draws, no defeats. And at 6'5", he's got the dimensions, but he really needs to learn how to box on the inside. Because when Webster got up close, he was mauling Dacres. And Dacres didn't like it. On a few occasions in the early to middle rounds, Dacres would actually, I don't know if he turned his back deliberately, but he couldn't get that sort of, those little semicircles that sort of allow you to sort of offset your opponent and readjust. He just couldn't get those down. He kept, on a couple of occasions, he had his back to Webster, who could have been justified in clocking him when he had his back turned. And the referee, I think, did speak, or he did sort of snap at Dacres, don't do that. Turn around, face your opponent. But I think Webster, if he'd had more faith in the ability to do the 30 minutes and more experience, he was firing some nice double jabs. He just wasn't hanging anything off them. There were but very few right crosses. I didn't see a lot of left hooks and very little body work from either man, which I think is always a shame. You've got that big, both of them, big old lumps, big body. You think they should aim for that as well, put some money in the bank in the first 3, 4, 5 rounds. Neither of them really did that. I think both these guys could be better fighters for this fight. Again, this was for the the English heavyweight title. And it's a good stepping stone. I don't see any hurry with Dacres. I think he should get some more work, maybe make another couple of defences and then make a run for the British. I don't think he'd be any match for someone like Fabio Wardley at all. Or, to be honest with you, I think he's a level below British level at the moment. And Michael Webster's the same. If I was Webster, I'd go for the area title, which is... I'm not sure where Webster's from. I know Johnny Fisher's got the Southern area title. I think Webster is he from Newcastle or Middlesbrough or something like that? Maybe I think actually, who's got the Midlands? Who's got the? I can't remember now who's got the area titles. I know Johnny Fisher's got the Southern one, which if I'm right, and Michael is from Tyne and Wear or something like that, then that's obviously not the South. But I think he'll be a better fighter for this 10 rounds. He'll be more confident. He'll know he can do the distance. If I was him, I'd go away, maybe learn how to quicken your feet up a little bit. In the case of Dacres, he needs to he needs to work on his balance, because he's easily knocked off balance by someone putting pressure on him. And if Michael Webster had put more pressure on Dacres, he could have won this fight. I'm telling you, he could have done. Anyway, it was a unanimous decision win for Solomon Dacres, who moves on. What did you think of the fight? Did you see it? If so, leave your comments. Thank you as always for your time. Please subscribe to the channel if you're new. Just hit that subscribe button. Takes one little poke and then you're there, and it helps us out a lot. And the like button as well if you don't mind. All right, guys, thanks a lot for your time. I'll catch you later. Bye for now.